Randy Rainbow.
Hi, Eric.
Um, you made me cry.
All right. What did I do?
Not just now, but when I read your book, and your book, which is why you're here, is Randy Rainbow, and I'm reading this because otherwise I will get it wrong. Randy Rainbow and the Marvelously Magical Pink Glasses.
It made you choke up a little?
A lot.
I'm so happy that
Y-
you cried. Thank
yes,
you.
I wrote to your publicist and said I used bad language because I was like, there's so much to cry about now. Um, and I just didn't want to cry. But a child who feels different, and his grandmother gives him pink glasses. I loved my grandmother. She lived to 102.
Wow, you are lucky.
I
See,
was
I only had nanny to 86, which was a robbery.
so how much of this story is drawn on your relationship with your grandma?
Very much. I mean, she didn't, long story short, nanny didn't actually give me pink glasses.
I figured not, but
But it very much, has a journey, those pink glasses do, because they started, anyone who knows my musical comedy videos, that's where okay, thank you. I wasn't fishing, but I just want to
no,
make
no,
sure.
every single one of them I've watched.
Oh,
So
good, good, good,
so it's not just
good.
one. I know those glasses.
Good. Yeah. So what like going on more than a decade ago, they were a cheap sight gag that I just
Yeah.
thought would be funny in a video. And people kept mentioning them in the comments, so I kept using it as a prop. And then over time, they kind of took on a deeper meaning. Cut to 2022, I got the opportunity to write a song with the great Alan Menken. And we wrote the Pink Glasses song called Pink Glasses. And it was then really that I officially assigned them kind of a deeper meaning.
Uh-huh.
And it was very easy to come up with because what I do in those videos that I'm mostly known for is try to bring a little light to darker topics. Be
I
a
should say
spoon,
so.
be a spoonful of sugar, if you will, and
Yes,
and
yes.
and, and use my imagination, creativity, whatever you want to call it, to escape the reality of where we are. And that's what I think people like about it. And the person who taught me to do that was my grandmother.
Uh,
So so essentially Nanny is the pink glasses. And
right.
this it's all about seeing the world through a lens of joy and humor.
And you were that little boy.
And I was that little boy.
Yes, and so many of us were that little boy.
And also I want to say, talk about tearing up. I was hoping that people, your demographic, shall we say, and you're like the
Old,
second
old,
person.
old gay men who
No, no,
carry
no, gay.
Medicare cards.
I
Yeah.
did not mention age. I
Yes,
mean,
yes.
our demographic, gay male.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
Realized, and I always knew this, but now putting this book out and starting to do press for it, I realized many people have a special relationship with their grandmother, but gay men and their grandmothers, that's a very special bond. And so I really am excited that this celebrates
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that relationship. Yeah.
When did you realize you were that little different boy? Or different
Oh,
little boy, I should say.
when did I, yeah, always. I mean, there was
Yeah.
never a question that something was off. Something was
Well, and that's
little.
key. That's key,
Yeah.
Randy, because when you say off, it wasn't that we were just different, but they were different. We were different bad. Um,
Well, certainly, I mean, now I guess it's very difficult because politically, I don't know what's going on these days with kids when,
yeah.
because
Um,
there's a lot more support in, community and around them, immediate support kind of. And then on a larger scale, there's the opposite right now, of course. We don't have to say.
yeah.
But I didn't have that. I'm sure you didn't have that. I didn't go to school and people were like, yes, the weird kid
Oh,
with
how fabulous
a
that you're
lisp
gay.
and
Yeah, and
pink
you
glasses.
can't catch a ball, and you like arts and crafts and not baseball.
Right.
Yeah,
That was not
I
so.
get sent to Jewish Federation camps in the summer. Um,
That
uh,
sounds very that sounds intense, Eric.
they were discount.
Okay.
My parents were working class Jews from Queens, and uh,
We're the same person.
yeah, yeah, 20 years apart, but yeah, similar person, and it was horrible. because I was that different child. I think that's why your book touched me so much, that here's this little boy who has a loving grandmother who helps him on his journey to love himself.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
It's about I think that's there's so many messages to the I mean, like I said, personally speaking, it's the grandmother
yeah,
relationship.
yeah,
That's the most special thing to me. But I think, well, first of all, the fact that it's coming out now in this time that we're in, and it will
yeah.
most certainly be banned from every book list that,
Oh, I hope for your sake that it will get a lot of it, of that kind of attention. I had that
I
happened
love
with my first book in 1988.
really
The male couple's guide to living together, a sort of an innocuous book for male couples. Like, how do you figure out how to hang the pictures without hanging each other? And Muscatine, Iowa, first place where where they tried to ban the book, and the librarians came to my rescue.
get out.
So yeah, so I hope you get, that I
You've
hope there's a,
always been ahead of your time with
oh, I try.
banning.
I try. But the librarians would not let them ban the book. And I'm sure that will, yeah, your book will wind up on the list. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And again, I'll take the publicity from that. That's terrific.
Absolutely.
It brings me no joy that that's happening now. It's a sad state of affairs. But I also, like I said, it's the best it's the best time to be releasing this book. I'm so proud to be contributing something like this now.
Yeah. And I think that you speak to not just the different kids who were LGBTQ, there are a lot of stray kids who are different and are tortured for being different.
Well, it will be politicized by the people that we were just talking about if they want to. But it really, I mean, he doesn't come out of the closet, little Randy Rainbow, in this book.
No,
He doesn't change his pronouns. He doesn't do anything like that. Now,
no.
spoiler alert, it is based on me, and eventually he'll come out of the closet,
Yeah, yeah,
maybe down the series.
yeah.
But it really is a universal message of self-expression and self-acceptance that should really just be accepted by anyone who's a nice person.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. Was there ever a time when you thought that your difference would ruin your life? Because it hasn't. I mean, it turns out, look at the life you have. But,
I know I really grew into myself though. I mean, even my
uh-huh.
name, which if you read, not to promote all my books, but Playing with Myself, New York Times bestseller, available now wherever books are sold. Um,
I had a #1 New York Times bestseller, Greg Louganis's autobiography, but I don't promote that too much anymore.
I
It's
was
a long
number
time ago.
3. How dare you? Um,
5 weeks #1, 9 weeks
five
#1.
weeks. Oh,
5 weeks.
son of a bitch.
Sorry.
Very
Sorry.
fancy. I can't
Sorry,
continue.
sorry.
But
Yes, I interrupted
um,
you. I'm sorry.
that's okay. Anything to promote yourself. That's what we do.
We do.
Um, Speaking of publicists, I got one I can introduce you to. Um, but what was I even saying? Oh, my name
Yes,
is
Randy
my
Rainbow.
real name,
Yeah.
and thank God I grew into someone who would be named Randy Rainbow successfully because
Yes.
maybe would have been a quarterback or something. I guess I would have changed it.
Well, I'm surprised you weren't banned from school just for having a name that's Rainbow, because rainbows are now bad.
I know. I
Yeah.
know. It'd be a very strange time. But did I ever think I'm very fortunate that I grew up with two very strong support systems in the women in my life, my grandmother and my mother.
Mm.
And so they never really allowed me to think that
Well, that's
enough
wonderful.
that I yeah. And even my father, who that's a whole other chapter in my first book that you can read. What?
No, I was gonna.
The chapter is titled Donald Trump is my father. He was very much a Donald Trump type, so make of that what you will.
Oh my God. Yeah.
But to that end, he was he for his age, he was fairly progressive and he was, in entertainment. And so even he was not like, you're not a football player, get out of the house. So that was
Right.
helpful too.
Right. Right. Um, what did your grandmother call you?
Many things. Randala comes to mind.
Oh,
And that's in the book, I think. I think
uh,
I have her call me Randala in the book.
uh-huh.
Oh, you want to really cry? I actually there are a few personal Easter eggs in that book. This maybe too much
No,
to
it's not
just
too much.
go into.
My makeup won't run. I don't worry.
Are you
I'm not
already
worried.
tearing up again? Oh my God.
Sorry.
That
Any mention of a grandmother?
you were,
My grandma
were
May was
you
just the best. What?
What did you call her?
Her name was May, and she was Grandma May.
That's so sweet. I was
Yeah.
gonna say, would you please accompany me on this entire book tour?
So you can have someone crying at every one of
It's
your
very
interviews.
encouraging and helpful.
But I
Okay.
interrupted you yet again. I'm sorry.
Yes, stop it.
You said there were a
I have
couple of
no train of thought.
yeah, no, no, no.
What
You
was
said
I
there were a
saying?
couple
Oh,
of
Easter.
Easter
Well,
eggs.
there's
Yes.
a talking about Nanny and her language, well, the Schmendrick brothers, she used to call everyone a Schmendrick, which is a very, a Yiddish term that we
I
know.
we know. Yes.
Um, but also, there's a part in the book when she gives him the pink glasses. Now I'm getting choked up. And she says, just put them, crack a joke the next time they say something mean to you and carry on, kiddo. Carry on was the last thing Nanny said to me in her life.
Oh, oh, oh,
Yeah. Oh, I,
oh.
I gotta go now.
No,
Bye.
no, no, no. Were you with her toward the end?
I was
Or
my that was an almond, not actual choking up. I
okay.
want I want to be genuine. Um, I was not with her. My mother was, and I go through this whole story in my first book. But there was when she was on her deathbed, it turned out she picked up the phone and just called me randomly and had a last conversation with me. And the final thing she said was carry on.
Carry on. Oh
So that's
my.
really everything that I do. Sometimes I want to, like everybody, I want to give the fuck up. Can I
Oh
say
yeah, 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 yeah. Absolutely.
that was a nannyism. She would say, I want to give the fuck up. Can I say give? But I always think of nanny because
Yeah.
the things that I do, I try to be that pair of pink glasses through all of this tumult.
Yeah.
This is a very Yiddish interview we're giving. But that really gives me purpose in all of the stuff that I do. And so really everything that I've done in my career of note, the videos, the books,
Mm.
it's all somehow tied to the philosophy that Nanny really imparted on me.
I'm sorry she's not still with you.
I know.
My grandma came to all of my book signings.
Wow.
Yeah, she called me Eric Darling.
Eric Darling.
Now I'm gonna tear up.
Oh
She
God.
spoke fluent Yiddish, so I know all of those words.
I love her
Um,
already.
I just named a traveling fellowship at my college, Vassar College. I'm leaving them a chunk of money, so we created the Grandma May Traveling Fellowship Fund in her
See, so
memory.
you know.
Yeah, they're such an important people, and I carry her with me as you do your grandmother. And where would we be without those people who loved us, even though they were taught not to?
Yeah, she's the biggest, you know, kind of force in my life.
Yeah,
I'm not very religious, but if I had
yeah, me neither.
my biggest religion is Nanny, really,
Yeah.
because
Did she
she's
ever call you Tatala?
I
Or was that not in her? No.
yes, I'm sure she did.
Yeah. But she used the F word. Did I hear you say that?
She used the fuck.
Yeah.
Oh yes, all the time.
Oh my God.
A mouth like a sailor all
Not my
the time.
grandmother.
She didn't.
My husband almost got her to use the F word once because I took my grandmother to see, we love going to the movies. I took her to see Get Shorty. Um, and in Get Shorty, the main character uses the F word over and over again. And we got home and he asked her how the movie was. She said, I can't believe he took me to see that movie. It was so the language. And he said, well, what kind of language? And she got to, and she said, you're not going to get me to say that. She never in
But she
102
wasn't a New Yorker.
in Brooklyn.
She wouldn't say fuck from Brooklyn?
No, she was the queen of Bensonhurst. She did not use foul
Wow.
language. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
my grandmother was Joan Rivers essentially. Very much.
wow. I love Joan Rivers. She was just,
Yeah.
yeah. Did Joan Rivers ever, did you ever get to meet her?
I didn't. I'm currently on the special for Joan that's streaming on Peacock. Um, it aired a shorter version aired last night on NBC and now it's on Peacock with me and Sandra Bernhard and Jeffrey
Now,
Ross
now
and
I'll
I
have
the
to,
whole night. And Melissa Rivers put it together, so we
oh,
did it
wonderful.
at the Apollo Theater just up the road from where I am right
Yeah.
now. And that was very special because I loved her so much. Like I said, she reminded me so much of Nanny. So like I had that connection, but never met her.
I think of you as a successor and in the spirit of Joan Rivers.
Yeah, that's the greatest compliment.
Well, you're special. Um,
Oh. Eric, I don't want to go to my next interview. See this
You're gonna have
one.
to. I only have another minute with you. I want to ask you what you're
Yeah.
doing next. I just should tell you, when your publicist spoke, we corresponded, and she asked about time and day. I said, and I don't say this about anybody. I said, for Randy, anytime, any day, whatever you can give me.
Oh,
Long-term fan. We
thank
come from a similar background, similar part of the world. I just love your work. But what are you doing? I know you're done with the book. What's next?
I'm getting ready to go on tour. We're
Again?
launching the same, yes. Launching with the book launches also the National Freakin' Treasure Tour. So we're going across the US now through November, through the
Wow.
through mid-November. I get it. It's 11 dates in June, then 3 months off, and then we do the fall
That's a
15 days.
lot. That's a good thing you're young-ish.
I'm not young enough for this shit, Eric. I can't. It's too much with the touring. It's enough. I just in October wrapped a year-long tour. So I was not going to tour this year, but then I have the children's book coming out. Also, it's the first Trump part two, so I have to, and I'm
We,
happy to, but it's a pain in the ass.
yeah, we
But
need you.
we need me, and I need
Yeah,
me, and I need you, and we need each other, and that
yeah,
shows. Yeah.
yeah.
So the tour, and hopefully more books, lots more videos on the horizon. I'm just finishing editing the next one, and
Oh, great.
yeah,
Can't wait to see it.
yeah.
Randy, I wish you so much luck.
Thanks, Eric.
I'm sorry you don't still have your grandma. I'm sorry I don't still have my grandma, but she'd be like 126.
That would
Uh,
be excessive. That would
it
be
would
egregious.
be, well, you know, my just one last thought. My Aunt Gussie, when my Uncle Morris died at 95, she said, "Why did God have to take him so soon?" And at the time, at the time, I thought, what a ridiculous thing to say. Um,
She wasn't being funny.
no, she was absolutely serious. And when my grandmother died, I thought, and I don't believe in God, but I thought, why did God have to take her so soon? I still need her.
Yeah,
But we do carry them with us. And what a tribute to your grandmother to have done this book. And it is a perfect book for children who are different, no matter what their difference. And to give them a sense, I guess I'm doing the pitch that you would normally give,
yeah,
to give them a sense that they can not only survive, they can thrive with whatever strength they can find inside, and also the support of the people who love them around them. So
yeah. Well, see, I'm just gonna copy that and say that in my next interviews. Thank you for that.
good luck with the next interviews. I'm so grateful for your time.
My pleasure. It was really a joy to speak to you, and I hope to do it again. Bless you. Love you.
And you. Love you too. Bye
Bye.
bye.